Yeah, any knowledge claim requires a certain set of categories to be the case, to be the preconditions for the possibility of knowledge. And those categories require some kind of grounding and justification and something that makes them all cohere together. And that being is specifically the Christian God.
Sure. And how do you know he exists, though?
By the transcendental argument is one example.
I mean, you're saying that there has to be a justification for every belief, and for you that justification is God, but isn't that kind of circular or no?
Yeah, but I believe that every worldview at a base level is self-recurring or recursive.
I mean, not the atheist worldview, though.
I would say it is. I mean, you could try to argue for self-evident principles, but you're going to quickly fall into being self-referencing.
Okay, so do you have like any examples or?
Well, if you have an atheist worldview, I mean, are you saying then that you're a classical foundationalist who believes in self-evident principles?
I don't know what that means, to be honest.
Well, if you don't believe that worldviews are at a base level self-recursive or whatever, or circular at a paradigm level, then most likely you would believe that there are foundational self-evident maxims or axioms.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 problems with that. One is the criterion problem, which is that you can't have a knowledge claim without a criteria of knowledge. But if you have a criteria of knowledge, that's also a knowledge claim. So you'd have to solve the criteria problem. And also, if you believe in self-evident principles, then you would have to have a standard or a benchmark by which you judge the self-evident and the non-self-evident. But if you have a benchmark that's the prior category to judge those, then they're no longer self-evident. So these are 2 variations of the problems of self-evidence.
Okay. But I mean, I could say that gravity exists. How is that not a true statement, self-evidently?
Well, again, I could just go to the criteria problem. If you're gonna say that something just is the case, it's first of all, it's ad hoc. Why is that assertion the thing that is self-evident? How do we know that it's self-evident? Because you need a criteria of knowledge to have knowledge claims. So if you're going to start with that, then what's the criteria of knowledge that lets you know that that's self-evident?
What's the criteria of knowledge to know that gravity exists?
That the assertion is self-evident. You understand there's a difference between believing in gravity and the truth of the proposition that gravity is self-evident. Those are 2 different things.
Unfortunately, I don't understand what you're saying.
So when I say the tree is brown,
yeah,
okay, that's an assertion, that's a knowledge claim. That's different from the proposition itself having truth value. Is it true that the tree is brown? Those are higher order. It's 2 different things. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. So to say that gravity is self-evident at the base level, that's an assertion about the external world and phenomena going on in the external world. On another level, there's an assumption that that's a universal truth claim that is the case. And so I'm asking, how do we know that that is universally the case? Maybe it is, but on what basis? What's the criteria of knowledge to know that?
So we know that gravity is real because, we can run experiments and show objectively.
So you're missing the point. The question is about the truth value of the proposition itself, not whether gravity is going on in the world. How do we know that that sentence meaningfully conveys a universal truth claim?
No?
Did you say something? Because we couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I said it. I know that. So the criteria for something being true is that it accurately reflects reality, in my opinion.
Okay, so that's your criterion. Fine. But how do we know that that is the right criterion?
How do we know that something being true equals it accurately reflects reality?
Yes.
Because, I mean, how else would you tell that something is true?
Well, just saying that I don't see it any other way isn't a justification. In fact, that's a fallacy. That's a fallacy of incredulity.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, I guess then you're kind of going into, like, basically saying that words don't necessarily have a meaning and different people have, like, different interpretations of words.
Maybe. I mean, you can go into all these different directions because I'm just doing variations on what's called the criteria problem.
Yeah, but again, you know, you're kind of going into semantics, basically saying, oh, well, different words mean different things to different people.
Epistemology is not semantics. They're two different things. Anyway, look, go check out the difference between those things. I'm not trying to be a jerk, just saying, like, just go take a look at those distinctions, and maybe that'll help with, we're welcome to come back. We can continue that discourse. Victor, what's up?